Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to First 15 at 8:15. This is Rich calling you from Jerusalem, Israel, in our Dira, that's the word for apartment here in Israel. And I will be back with you live 1 week from today. So thank you all, Bruce and everyone else, Kayla, who has really helped put all this together so that we could have our summer break. All right, farming that can work quickly. Man, I want to tell you, I've said this before, if you want to build your business, build it through your sphere of influence in your farm, and farming can work quickly. Today you're going to learn to generate listings from a farm area quickly and consistently when you position yourself as the honest expert. So we're calling today's session Farm, Generate Listings Quickly and Consistently. And this is the last week of our summer vacation schedule, so we'll have live calls today and Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern, and it'll be 3:30 here in Israel, and I'll be with you, and then I'll be back with you back to normal with full support, one-on-one coaching on Monday, as we say here, with God's help. All right, success mindset. And as I said last Thursday, and it is very important that you take your mindset very seriously. I see more agents be damaged by their mindset than any other reason. And more agents repaired and growing to the business they want to have because they work on their mindset while they work on their other parts of their business. Always be reading and or listening to positive message and positive people. And we've got a list of motivational movies, a list of motivational books. You always want to be reading and listening to positive messages and be around positive people. If you cannot be around positive people, then you shut yourself off from them. Always be around positive messages and positive people. If you ever hear yourself saying, I should, just stop yourself and change that into, I could. Or if I wanted to, I should prospect more. No, stop that. Give yourself a little tap on the cheek and say, no. If I wanted to, I could prospect more. Because that's the truth. Should is nothing but harmful. If I wanted to, I could. And avoid negative people. Don't let them in. You let them in and they shift your life. And as you become more positive, negative people will avoid you, will avoid being with you, and you will attract positive people. I can tell you story after story right out here at this, in Israel. We're with this group of people, positive people, being positive, behaving positively, confidently, and you learn to build that is an absolute charismatic attraction. And you want to make sure that you're always looking at your goals. If you are not looking at your goals and your measures every day, your business will be much more inconsistent and frustrating. If you are looking at your goals and your measures every day, your business will be much more positive and exciting. Open your charts, review and update you. The result you will get from simply knowing your numbers will amaze you. And with regard to your routines and systems, I want you to have a daily routine where you take 10 minutes every day to plan. And I want you to do that in the same place every day. Where will you do your planning? Where? It should be in the same place every day, whether it's your home office or your company's office. Where will you do your planning every day? And each day of the week, Monday at what time? Tuesday at what time? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and if you add Saturday or Sunday for yourself, when will you do it? So every Monday it's at the same time. It doesn't have to be the same time Tuesday as Monday. Hey, maybe you've got, sales meetings and caravans, and man, Tuesday just gets away from you. So skip Tuesday. So Mondays and then Wednesdays. But on the days of the week you choose, as many of the days of the week as possible, consistently as a routine, where will you take your 10 minutes of planning? And each day of the week, when will you do it? So that's your success mindset for the day. Always be around positive people. If you're not looking at your goals, look at your goals and make sure every day you're taking that 10 minutes of planning at a consistent time, each day of the week, each day of the week. And now we'll talk about your tactical skills. And we stay on the topic of marketing because there's so much to talk about that can help you do so well with your business. So on this topic of marketing, we talk about the 4 M's and the B. what are your markets, what is your message, what is the media that you will use, and how do you measure your results to make sure that you're getting absolutely the most return on your investment in marketing. I say you want to look for a 400%. So if you invest over the course of the year $2,000 in your marketing, I want you to make sure you can look at your business and say you know confidently that you've generated $8,000 or more, 400%, 4 times whatever your investment is in your marketing. Now remember, your spheres of influence are your first marketing priority, but farming a geographic area where you're known as the expert is your second priority, and I will say to you repeatedly, top agents farm. Top agents farm, and they get most of the business from their farm. So if you're not doing that, if you're struggling, you want to build your farm area. And to be trusted and honest, you want to be the neighborhood expert. So you want to be the trusted and honest neighborhood expert. So that's why I ask you to do these routines we're going to talk about. If you haven't seen every for sale by owner and every expired, if you don't go and see every home that's for sale, how could you be the trusted and honest expert? You want to truly be. That's the Realty Teams. Realty Teams is owned by a woman named Naomi Streicher. Naomi and her team are very strong clients of mine for a very long time. They have this smart card that says, make a smart move with Realty Teams, and their phone number. The agents take the smart car out to their appointments when they like, and they have absolutely made that smart car. And the name Realty Team is the most trusted and honest real estate company in the New City, Muncie area, and that's why they've built themselves to be such a strong, powerful force in the area. So over the course of the next little while here, we are going to talk about each of these. Next few days, we're going to talk about each of these farm routines. So today we're going to start talking, I think today we're going to start talking about, the first few of these. Let's just take a quick look here. Gotcha. We're going to talk about sending the opening letter. So let's talk about this first group first. You know, you're going to choose a farm area, 200 to 300 homes. It's best to choose an area around where you live. You're going to do a CMA drive around. We talked about that, where you pull all the houses for sale, sold, expired, withdrawn, pending, under contract, and you do a drive around of all of them, so you're familiar with all of the past, present, and future activity. You're previewing every home that comes on the market and preview every home that has been on the market. So you can honestly say you've seen every home that's for sale by owner or by an agent, unless for some reason it sold so quickly you couldn't get in, or the agent or the owner wouldn't let you in. You've seen every home that's for sale, and you can start saying that very quickly and say that forever. You pursue every expired and every for sale by owner, even if it's not in your habit to typically do that. In your farm, you do that. And what we're going to focus on today is the opening letter that you send with area sales for the past 12 to 18 months. There is no stronger way to start your farm than with this opening letter that we're going to share today. Before we do, let's just understand, successful farming is when you know more about the values in the area than any other agent. So nobody knows more about the values in the area. Nobody else can, as well as you can, look at the houses and know what they're likely to sell for, or as quickly determine that. You know how to get the highest possible price for a home in the area. You know what features of a home, what type of kitchen, what type of, maybe a finished basement's worth nothing in your area, maybe it's worth a lot. There's differences from area to area, neighborhood to neighborhood. You know what side of the area, what side of the street, of specific street sells for more. You know the nuances, so you know how to get the highest price for every home in your area. And most importantly, the people in your area know that you know how to get the highest price for each home in your area. So your goal in farming is that you list and sell more than any other company in your area. You, as an individual, list and sell more than any other company in your area, because when people in your farm think of real estate, your name comes to mind as the best real estate agent to sell their home in your area. And then we're going to talk about, after today, creating farm links, sending postcards and how to design those, sending something fun and interesting, being part of community events, setting up community events, managing a community website. And you take your time. This may take you a year or 2 or 3 to build all of this, but now we're introducing all those concepts to you. So right now we're going to focus on sending that opening letter with area sales from the past 12 to 18 months to your farm. So you may send it if you live there as a resident, There's a slightly different letter that you send as a non-resident. But you're establishing yourself as a resident who cares more about the values, or as a person who's committed to the values, pays attention to the neighborhood, and is sure to get more for every home because values in the area matter more to you. That your message is that you are more committed to the values in the area than any other agent. And therefore you pay attention to each sale and what happens and how it affects the value of every single house in the area. You're able to sell the subtleties of the houses and the subtleties of the area that cause buyers to pay the highest possible price. When I farmed the area that I grew up in, I talked about the neighborhood stores and being able to run and get exercise in the local park. And I had stories and nuances that people had told me and that I'd experienced that caused people to understand that I knew how to get the highest possible price for every home. Now, when you start with this is going to take a little more effort to start with. You start with a farm letter. Dear neighbor, and you have in the farming webinar and the farming workbook copies of this letter. When we get back, if you send us an email that you want a copy of this, we can send you copies, but they won't get sent out until probably a week from today. You send a letter that says, I know this area, I live in this area, I'm more committed to the values in this area, and if you're thinking of selling, even if you know another agent, call me to get the best ideas of how to get the most for a home in this area. This is Marsha McCarthy's letter. Now, if you say that's too many words, no problem. Change it. But the concepts in this letter that say that you are more committed to the values and they're better off hiring you or at least considering you than any other agent is the point. Then in the letter, you have a list of all the homes that have been sold over the last 12 to 18 months, what they sold for, the bedrooms, the bathroom, the square footage, the address, so that people, now you may leave out the house number and just put in the street name so people can't identify the specific house. And all of a sudden people get this and they say, wow, this is really good information. And it actually says on it to keep it with your other important documents because it affects them. It is information on the value of your house. And in fact, you put right on the envelope, get a stamp from your local Office Depot or whoever that says information enclosed regarding the value of your property, or information enclosed impacts the value of your property. And if you live in the area, put your home address in the return email. Now people say, is that legal? You don't have to put the company. In most states, as long as your company is identified inside, it doesn't have to be specifically on the envelope. You send this type of letter either annually, once a year. It's always best to send it in late January. Some people send it semi-annually. They'll send it once in August, September, and then again they'll send it first of the year. Some agents even send this information quarterly. As a matter of fact, one of the best examples of that is Kyle Killebrew. Kyle farms, I think, 5 different areas, and they add up to a few thousand homes. Kyle sells over 250 homes a year, and in his farm areas, he is absolutely known as the expert. This is what Kyle's annual marketing piece looks like. If it looks familiar, it's because Kyle's been a coaching client for a long time, and we built this together. So real estate closings in Terre Hill and Fox Meadow, or in Coke Mill East, or in Sherwood Market. And it has the address, but not the number of the house, so that people can't really say this was their house, so any individual isn't upset that you shared what their house sold for. The number of bedrooms, the number of baths, the square footage, the type of property, whether it has a basement is relevant in his area, how many car garage, the original listing price, the sale price, and the sale to sale price ratio. Now, you haven't sold all of these. They're sold by all different realtors, but often it gives the impression that you have. That's not a bad thing either. This is Tirza Beer, again, extraordinarily dominant agent in her farm market. Other agents wish they had done what she had done, but they can't compete with her now in her farm market. She's just too strong. This is EDDMs, every door direct mail from the post office. These are EDDMs that Tirza has sent out. And again, we built these together to say she knows more, she brings valuable information regarding her farm area to the people in her area. Now she actually puts the specific address in hers. This is an initial farm mailing, and an annual farm mailing will get you business more quickly, more immediately, and establish you more quickly as the true expert of real estate in your area. Now, on Mondays we open these coaching calls to everyone. So if you're not already a coaching client, this is just a tip of the iceberg, a fraction of it you learn as a coaching client throughout the year. We do these Monday with these daily First 15 calls. We have a full set of webinars, and we're rolling out a tremendous new website with a full range of information. We're going to completely load. I'll share more with you more about that as we go along. We're just $49 a month, $4.99 for a year, the best buy in real estate coaching and training. Now, your ingredient for your recipe of success today, if you choose to do the farm info, if you choose to send out one of those farm info pieces, get yours out by September 30th. If you choose to do one of those thorough farm pieces, get yours out by September 30th. We can talk about how to do that on today's live call or on Wednesday's live call, and feel free to communicate, and we will share that with you. It will generate more business more quickly from your farm area. Hug the ones you love. Make a great day. Make a sale.